Chrono Odyssey is probably going to be my next big MMORPG. Me and many people that enjoy MMOs are probably going to be checking the game out. Recently, we had a bunch of news regarding Chrono Odyssey. A little bit of teasers happening, some leaks happening, a beta upcoming. And I just wanted to cover everything that you need to know about Chrono Odyssey, everything you need to know about the beta, the release date, what type of MMO it's going to be. I'm going to be covering all of that in this video. And I'm not going to lie, it is a really good timing that Chrono Odyssey is coming out now, because the newest MMO, which was Throne of Liberty, is kind of slowing down, and people are looking for a new MMORPG that we can enjoy for a couple of months before looking for a new MMO. You know, as MMO addicts, we just jump MMO until it gets boring or it becomes extremely pay to win, and then we find a new MMO. So let's just jump into it and see what Chrono Odyssey is all about. Now, talking Chrono Odyssey is going to be a proper open world MMORPG. It's not an instance MMO. Like, we've gotten a lot of news regarding MMOs recently, like Dune Awakening and other games that introduced themselves as an open world MMORPG, but it isn't really a proper MMORPG. But Chrono Odyssey is actually going to be a full-fledged open world MMORPG. You're going to run around in a world without loading screens, see a bunch of players, do a lot of boss fights, and the open world MMORPG experience is what you're going to get from Chrono Odyssey, which is really good, a proper MMO. And these MMOs, they take a bunch of time to develop, and this game has probably been in development for many years, but we're getting a proper MMORPG with Unreal Engine 5, and there's going to be a lot of like grind focus progression in this, massive world bosses, seamless dungeons, all that stuff that you're looking for in an MMORPG we're going to be getting with this game. And the graphics so far, from what we've seen, the trailers and the gameplay trailers have been really good. This hasn't been any proper gameplay footage except a few leaks. I've seen those. I don't know if I can talk about them. I'm not on an NDA, but you guys could probably Google around for the leaks. But so far, the game looks really good. It is made with Unreal Engine 5. So far, the idea of the game and how it looks and the graphics are phenomenal, right? Everything that we're looking for. And they have like a whole world and lore. Like, I'm not a big guy into world and lore, but the lore looks good. But the really cool thing about the whole lore and the world is this Chrono Tector is called, which is going to be like an artifact where you can bend time. So that's the new special thing with Chrono Odyssey. Is you're going to have this artifact that you can bend time with, and you can use it actively in combat. I'm guessing to somehow CC players or walk back into time during dungeons. But the lore is built around this artifact, which will let you manipulate time, which is really cool, right? Now we're going to talk about what is one of the biggest and most important thing when it comes to MMOs, which is the combat and the weapon system, because combat is super important. Like, a lot of players are looking for proper combat. Many players like tap target, like me, but I think most of new players that want to play new MMOs kind of prefer the action combat, and we're actually getting a real-time action combat with this game. It's going to be action combat, focus on movement, which is incredibly important. I've played so many new MMOs which look amazing. However, the combat is dog and the movement is horrible. But from what we've seen so far with the game, it's a lot of focus on movement, dodging, positioning, action combat, and that automatically, in my opinion, makes a really good MMO, because that makes boss fights much harder, because you have to actually dodge abilities, position yourself, move when you have good fluidity, and PvP make is really good. Now, I haven't heard too much about the PP in the game, but I've heard that there might be PP, but we talk about that when we know a little bit more about the PP. But overall, it just makes the fights more fun. Now, what else do you get except from really good movement and action combat? You also get a non-class system. I mean, you get a class system. It's going to be 3 classes to choose between, but you can swap between weapons while in combat. So very similar to Throne of Liberty, you'll be able to swap between weapons during a fight. And I think, if I'm not wrong, we're going to be getting 3 classes to play, which is going to be the Swordsman, Ranger, and Berserker for the upcoming beta. I'm going to talk about the beta soon and how you can sign up. But I think the game has overall 6 different classes, and there are rumors about there being like some kind of healing weapon, so you'll be able to heal. But what I do know is we're gonna have DPSs, and we're gonna have ranged DPSs, and we're gonna have tanks that you can play. So there's gonna be 6 classes to choose between when the launch comes out, but at the start it's only going to be, I mean, for the beta or the playtest it's going to be 3 classes, but you can swap between weapons. And I do like this system, and I really hope that they don't do like every other MMO that does this, because a lot of MMOs have gone away from the traditional class system, right? We can swap between weapons. I hope they make it some way easier to swap between weapons, but we won't know until we actually play and test it out, right? But you will be able to swap between weapons and test out different things. And there's like in-depth talent trees and stuff, which is going to be really good. There was a leak with I think the crossbow, where you could look a little bit at the crossbow talent tree and what you can do in the game. So it's going to be, you know, a lot of like talents and builds and stuff that you can build going into the game. Now let's talk about the beta. The beta is coming June 2025, sorry, and it's only available on PC, Steam. Yes, I know the game will be coming out for console and stuff. We're going to talk about later, but the beta, the first playtest, which will be the closed beta playtest that everybody can sign up for, will be June 2025. And you can go to Steam right now. You can click you can search up Chrono Odyssey and just sign up for the test, and hopefully you get in. I don't think there's a guaranteed way to get in. Maybe they give away keys later, but right now they said there's not going to release any keys, so just sign up and hope for the best. I haven't heard that it's going to be under NDA or anything, so most likely I will be making content on it and streaming it if it's not under NDA. And since it is a closed beta and it's not under NDA, it probably means that we're getting closer and closer to launch, and I do think it's coming out in 2025 most likely. And the game does have a bunch of content. Like I've talked about this open world, right? I've talked about bosses, all the stuff, and they have talked about a lot of content variety for you guys when you're actually getting into Chrono Odyssey. How I know that is they had a closed playtest under NDA, of course. So I mean, I talked to people that played it, but I'm not going to say anything about the game out of respect to them and the game. But Chrono Odyssey actually shared themselves some like a content leaderboard of what people have been doing in the game. So they said that there's a lot of people spend a lot of time just grinding, so that you're gonna get the feel of like a classic MMO, grinding your way, probably progressing, leveling up, all that good stuff they're looking for in an MMORPG. But not only that, there's a lot of variety. You have like bounty hunting missions that a lot of players were doing. I think bounty hunting mission was on top of the list of what people actually were doing in the game. Then you have field bosses, which is going to be the open world massive encounters that you guys saw or probably seen in videos where people fighting this massive dragon, all that good stuff. So that's also going to be a thing that you can do in the game in the open world. They have like labyrinths, I think, which I think is like exploration based, that you can go and do. And I'm talking about all this stuff because I haven't played it, so it's like my idea of what it's going to be from the name. So it might be something completely different, but I'm just going to let you guys know. They have trial dungeons. I'm guessing trial dungeons is like some challenge-based dungeons, maybe some type of solo dungeons, or just dungeons overall. You have time portals. Again, I think it's connected to the lore and the artifact where you have this time thing, but there's going to be like time portals that you guys can do. So there's going to be a lot of different content that they've already had in the beta, and they're probably going to have more stuff when it comes to the global launch, right? So really good overall for the game, and it seems like we're actually getting a proper MMORPG, not like a half-assed MMO. That's why I mean, looking at MMOs, like I've been reviewing and playing MMOs for a while, usually I can tell by the early trailers and the information if it's actually going to end up being a good MMO, if it's just like a cash grab. But this one actually looks really good, and I talked about the visuals already with the Unreal Engine 5, and it really shows. I mean, with the trailers and everything, of course, when the game actually comes out and we actually play it, it's going to probably be a little bit different from the gameplay trailers, because gameplay trailers have to look really good. So we'll see how it actually looks and how it actually feels. But right now with the Unreal Engine 5, the really dynamic weather, the massive bosses, it looks really good. So I'm really excited for that. Now we got to talk about somebody. Yes, not you, not me. We got to talk about somebody. And they're called Kakao Games. Yes, you guys know Kakao Games. They are going to be publishing the game. And I don't know, but you guys probably heard about Kakao games from other MMOs or games you guys have played, and you guys probably know that they they can be a little aggressive when it comes to the monetization and the pay to win. Now, you guys know me. I don't like pay to win. But at the end of the day, MMOs are pay to win these days. Like Throne Liberty is a little bit of pay to win. Other MMOs that come out is a little bit pay to win. Lost Ark is pay to win. MMOs are pay to win, but the problem is when the pay to win becomes aggressive. Now, for what I know with Chrono Odyssey, the game is going to be buy to play, probably some battle pass, and maybe my guess, this is just, I don't know at all, but my guess is you probably be, because this is the system most of these MMOs and games have been going for recently to make them look less pay to win, is usually you grind and you can buy and sell in a trading house for currency that you can also buy with a credit card, and there's a potential that we might get it. Now, this is a full assumption, but knowing Kakao Games and knowing their track record, I won't be surprised if the game is pay to win. But what I can say is usually all MMOs, even though they are pay to win, can be very enjoyable for the first couple months before the pay to win really kicks in. So we're still gonna be able to have a good time and grind out and see what Chrono Odyssey is all about. Now, Chrono Odyssey, aside from that, has been recently very active. I talked about that earlier. You can check their Twitter. They've been posting some updates. If you guys are interested, I will be making videos too. But if you like to, do your own thing and, keep yourself updated, you can do that. But if there's anything new with the game important, I will be making the video. And so they have very active on Twitter. They have an official Discord that you guys can join now. They have a website too. They can sign up on, I think, with a Kakao ID or Google ID. And stuff like that, and then you get news and for place tests and all that stuff. So they're all also updating us. They're reviewing players, doing the play test, seeing what people like, people enjoy, making changes, which is really good. I mean, communication and transparency is very, very good early on. So them showing that and keeping us updated is going to be really good. So I have seen, people that play the playtest, they can't really say and tell me about systems and stuff in the game, of course, because it's under NDA. But main people that have played it have been overall pleasantly surprised with the game. That could mean many things. It can mean I didn't expect much, but it was good, or it can mean that game was really good. Now, I do think that it's more overall of they didn't expect much, because people don't expect much from MMOs in general these days, especially new MMOs, and then they get pleasantly surprised. So the game might be a really good thing when it actually launches globally, but overall I've seen positivity around the game, which is, I think, is going to be good for the game. Now, when it comes to the platforms, you'll be able to play it on PC and console on global launch, not for beta, sorry, console enjoyers. Which is good because Throne Liberty also have PC and console, brings a big influx of players. There was a rumor long time ago about a mobile release, but that is not happening, especially for now. Maybe in a few years. We're getting Lost Ark mobile, we're getting a bunch of mobile games, we're getting Final Fantasy mobile, so don't look away from a mobile release several years and now, but right now we're getting a full PC, a proper MMORPG is what I'm trying to say. And I think the release date is probably, in my prediction, usually I am pretty right with my predictions, but I'm thinking closed beta now, probably an open beta in autumn, August, maybe after summer, and then launch Q4 2025. I think. Maybe a delay. It's MMO, so we get delays. But 2025, I think we'll be able to check out this game. Aside from that, I would like to know, what do you guys think? Will you guys be checking out Chrono Odyssey? From what it seems and what it looks like, I said at the start of the video, I think it's going to be my next MMO that I'm going to be playing and checking out. The game looks really good. Graphics look good. Combat system looks good. Classes look good. A lot of stuff to do in the game, which is extremely important. Content looks really good. Them being transparent is nice. Monetization, I'm not too confident about, but I have to see when we jump in. Will you guys be playing the playtests? If not, you guys can of course watch me play the playtest when I do it in June. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or anything about Chrono Odyssey, let me know in the comments below. Check this video right here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.